Hey guys, welcome back, and this week I thought it was time we did an update on everything that is going on at Home Built. All right guys, welcome back, and as you can see, I have got everything here together so I can give you guys a bit of an update on what's going on with everything. I get so many questions about what's going on with this or that, and I thought it was about time I gave you guys just an overview of what's happening with each of the projects and the garage and everything else moving forward into 2025. All right, so I thought I'd start on the Franken Haller. So where we left off, I'd just done basically all of the turbo conversion on the original 1HZ engine, and basically once I connect up the exhaust, it's pretty much mechanically connected up, and everything is sort of mocked up in place. Then we can start doing the final sort of cosmetics, fix the firewall and do things like that, and add doors, interior, and then start working on that tray. That my plan, as I mentioned in previous videos, is to come all the way off the back and go almost flat on the ground behind, so you can get a low car straight on with no dramas, and then just go back up onto the tray. So there's lots of plans for the Franken Haller in the new year. This is my main project that I want to be concentrating on. But I know I've been a little bit remiss on this one just because the Ferrari has been on the road, and I've had to sort of get a bunch of little things done on that. So more to come on the Franken Haller. As I said, this is the main project in 2025 that I want to get done and dusted and on the road. So keep out for more episodes on that. All right, and now an update on Bobb. Bobb is my 1993 Mercedes-Benz E220 that was supposed to be a cheap, basic, reliable daily driver. It wasn't really supposed to feature on the channel, just I bought it and I thought I'd do a video, and then it hasn't actually been so cheap or reliable, so that's been a bit of a drama. Bobb drives totally fine except for the idle, and that has been a bugbear that has been, it's been the bane of my existence with this car ever since I bought it, and it's still not fixed, but I've become very adept at driving with 2 feet, so basically loading up the brake and keeping a few revs on with the accelerator. That is the way to drive this car, but it's not the car that I wanted Mrs. Jeff to be able to easily get in and drive and stuff like that. It's just not working the way I hoped it would. I have tossed up a bunch of different options with this car. I could do an engine conversion. The trouble is that I didn't buy this car because I loved it. I bought this car because it was going to be a good, cheap, reliable daily as it stood. Going to do an engine conversion is something, yes, I could definitely do, but do I love it that much? Realistically, I just want to get it fixed and get it running the way it's supposed to be. It's not fast, it's not particularly interesting, but it's cheap to register with our 30-year and older cheap registration, so that is why I got it, and everything else works fine. It's just the idle, and I've got a few things on that, so hopefully we can sort that out sometime into the new year. But at the moment, it's still getting driven. I still drive it to work and sort of have it as a bit of an extra car here and there when I need it. All right, the Rockster. So some of you who are new to the channel might not actually know what this car is. A lot of you did come to the channel because of the Rockster. It is a reasonably popular side project of mine. The Rockster was the ugliest Porsche in Australia that I bought, and some people did some horrible things to it, including making a diffuser out of rubber doorstops. The Rockster I bought to build as a track car, and the very first outing I did with it, the engine blew up. The original 2.5 litre flat six blew up, and my intention was always to do what I have done, which is I have swapped in a 4.2 litre Audi V8 into this. The Boxster's original gearbox is actually a front-wheel drive Audi gearbox in the back of the Boxster. So the 4.2 litre V8 bolted up straight to the gearbox. Nothing else was that straightforward, but the Rockster runs and drives and does what it needs to do. It's not road registered. I haven't bothered with that. I could go through the engineering process, but as people have watched with the Ferrari, that's a lot of headache to try and get the whole thing legal for the road. So at this stage, I've built it as a track car, and those who saw it at the track earlier in the year will know that I had a few issues. For starters, both of my taillights fell out. I do have new taillights. The brakes weren't good. The booster is gone. I do have a new booster to put into it. And also the shift cables were not great. Basically, one of the issues with doing the V8 conversion is that the shift cables normally go over the top of the engine. On a flat 6, that's quite low and quite easy. When you put a V8 in there, obviously they've got to go up and over the top of the V8 and back down again to the gearbox. And they have overstretched and they weren't happy. So I've got some new gearbox cables to go into it. And yeah, there's a bunch of upgrades to go on this, including some paint to paint the whole body, including the Cayman roof, and just make it look a little bit tidier and neater. But ultimately, I think the Rockster is something I'm going to finish up and get working properly, but then I'll probably end up moving it on. If any of you are interested in a V8 Boxster, let me know. Yeah, basically as it is, it's just I realise that I'm not going to spend that much time on the track with it. I can take the 911 to the track, and I probably prefer to drive that. So this is sort of now a redundant extra car that I'm glad I did it, and I've got it working. And I said the engine works. It ran on the track nicely. It didn't get hot. It was doing what it needed to do, besides sort of a couple of these other little things that I've got to sort out. So yes, more to come on the Rockster in the new year, and hopefully we can finish it up and get this project done and dusted. All right, so those who don't know, this is Harry. This is my 1974 Porsche 911 that I basically started my channel with, and I backdated it so it looks like a 1973 RSR race car. That was the inspiration for the body, and I sort of started all of my YouTube with this car, and I've used it a lot. I've done over 25,000 kilometers, hard kilometers in this car since I built it, and I've driven it from here near Sydney to Tasmania and done laps of Tasmania, done track days there. I drove it to Adelaide and did the Adelaide Rally in it. This car is a keeper. This car is staying with me forever. It's not going anywhere, and there's actually a video coming out soon. I've just replaced the windscreen with a later 993 glue-in screen. All of the reasons and everything for that were covered in that video, which is coming out soon. I love this car. It's not going anywhere, but I think I do have future plans that I do want to actually strip this car down and do it again. My skills have gotten so much better since I first did this car, and I've used this car. I'm very good at building cars, but less good at detailing and sort of maintaining and making them look pretty. And Harry, when you see it up close, has got a whole bunch of stone chips and little defects everywhere, and it's just not up to the standard that I would really like it to be and that I can make it. So future project on the channel is to strip this down and really go over the whole thing and tidy up a whole bunch of pieces that are not quite where I'd like it. So more to come on Harry. Harry's not going anywhere. Harry is a stable part of the garage for the forever future. All right, and the last project car, but definitely not the least, is the Ferrari. So most of you know what this is. This is my 1973 Alfa Romeo GTV that I have completely stripped and done basically everything to, including fitting the 2000 model Ferrari 360 V8 engine into. I've only had it registered and running on the road for a couple of weeks, and I've been going through the shakedown process. Now, I've just spent basically all this week filming a film for the Driven series for Shannon's Insurance, and that included taking this car on the track and doing a bunch of road driving. worked okay on the track and got there and back, but while I was on the track, the power steering stopped working, which I believe is probably just a blown fuse, but there's a few little electrical gremlins that have been raising its head on this. And then yesterday I was shooting the street scenes, and this has an electric water pump and an electric fan, and they have a controller that is built by that manufacturer. And that controller just decided to just stop working completely, and the water pump wasn't working, but the fan was working all the time. So that killed some of our filming for the street driving and stuff like that. I managed to get it going enough to finish up the day and get things going, but that is definitely not good enough, and it's not something that I'm happy to keep as it is moving forward. So thankfully the Link ECU that I have in this car can actually control those things. So that is a future project, is to sort out that. And like I said, a bunch of the other electrical issues that I've been having with this car. The headlights don't work as good as I would like. It does have a motorcycle PDM, power distribution module, so sort of replacing some parts of a fuse box and things like that, that it really is not up to running a car. It is designed for a motorbike, and it doesn't really have the settings that would be good for this car, and it's really struggling with a bunch of things. So I'm going to delete it for most of the stuff in the car. Unfortunately, because I'm so far along now, I can't get rid of it completely easily. So more electrical stuff to come on this car. And really the biggest bugbear I have with this car is the vibration coming from the engine. That the engine mounts are polyurethane leaf spring bushings out of a ute, and they're just way too firm, and it sends every vibration through the entire car. So the entire car just buzzes as soon as you start it up. Basically, the engine may as well be solid mounted to the car, and that's not comfortable at all, particularly with a flat plane crank engine, which do vibrate a lot at low revs. Once you get up in the rev range, it's fine, and when you're on it, you don't notice, like you're good. But just putting around town, it is horrible, and that is something I need to work on. Self-cancelling indicators and a bunch of little bits and pieces. So there is definitely a lot more to come on the Ferrari, just sorting it out and making it right for what I want it for, which is to be able to do a bit of everything. Is to be able to take it to a track day, to be able to take it for a squirt through the twisties, and to be able to just daily drive it, just to be able to use it as a car, to do a bit of everything. And like any big build like this, there's a shakedown process, and it's not immediate. It's something that needs to be worked on, and I am working through that process now. So keep an eye out on the channel for more on the Ferrari. All right, and finally, the updates on what's happening with the channel and the garage and things like that, that there is lots being worked on in the background. Lots of you commented on my driveway and how I should really spend some time tidying that up, and there is more news on that coming. Probably at this stage it'll probably be about mid-year, but there are big plans afoot for the whole Home Built by Jeff garage and driveway and everything else. There is still a lot to come on that, and I can't give it all away yet, but you'll find out sometime next year. I am not going anywhere. I've got plenty of projects up here. I already know what the next big project after the Franken Haller is, and as I said, there's going to be another big project on the Ferrari. There's finishing off the Rockster and the Ferrari and Bobb. So hopefully you guys will join me for that. And hopefully you're enjoying the videos. If you have any questions, drop them below. I'll answer what I can. And yeah, I wish everybody a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays from myself and Mrs. Jeff, and we'll see you in the new year. Catch you guys.